Hi, I'm Daniel Donato. We're here with Reverb.com today here in Nashville, Tennessee, and we're going to talk about my overall style on the Fender Telecaster guitar. I would say the first thing that you could relate to my style is the fact that the extra digits that I'm using with the right hand. This is called hybrid picking. I've always kind of just played this way, and so the whole concept here is that the pick is often not being used for an upstroke. So a classic example that I always like to show people that I sit down with is this deal. So the whole idea with that lick is that we're playing in the minor pentatonic scale, but with some bebop inflections, which I guess you would reference as Mixolydian, theoretically speaking. But the idea here, we're focusing on the right hand. If you notice, the pick only goes down. It never goes up. It just waxes on, never off. And I'll do that one more time slowly. It's a really simple concept that you can start applying to your overall guitar playing already, just as long as you get the idea that the pick never goes up. What this does, it does two things. It allows you to play at higher speeds with more of a staccato sound, and it also allows you to get a different kind of dynamic into your attack, because your fingers are going to have a different pressure and attack than your pick's going to have. I do have nails. I've grown out my nails a little bit on my right hand, and I have them done, finished with acrylic. I've been going to the same place since I was 14 years old, and I'm 23 now. So we have it down to a science. The whole idea here is that it is indeed a different sound. It's made of a different material than the pick is. So it's more snappy. Another technique that'll really accentuate this concept in a valid way are ghost notes. How I would define a ghost note is just a note that is more percussive than melodic in the delivery and how it's heard. So we'll be in the key of G here, and we'll take this pattern that we're really familiar with, and this goes over the same melodies that you hear in like those old Jimmy Rogers like yodeling songs. That's the melody, but like the pattern that we're playing out of is this. And so we're gonna go very rhythmic and very salient. But when you do it at speed, there's something that just the fingers have combined with the nail and the combination of the sound with the pick, the contrast. There's just a real proprietary sound and effect that happens there. Once more. I like to use that technique in odd rhythmic fashions, almost like a Latin drummer, percussionist in a sense would. So if we were to establish a rhythm, and this will also be established with hybrid picking on the right hand, so like. So when you really get this one lick down, you can start applying it to just overall phrases that you have going on in your solo, like I had just done there. You can do just intermittently within a phrase, and it does provide a valid speed bump rhythmically in whatever you're saying, and it does add good commas into the phrase in which you're speaking. And I would say another thing that we could focus on to wrap up the concept of the right hand is how it can be applied to rhythm. The two facets in which this is most apparent are open string rhythms. So if we were to be in the key of G still, something that's really groovy, focusing on the right hand, is this deal. So that one figure is this. When you're using your right hand and you're using all the fingers that you can, I actually don't use the pinky at all. So just these two extra ones right here, the ring and the middle as we call them. What you can do is you can have cool contrast in your bass lines, like kind of Charlie Hunter-esque, especially if you're going to start applying movement on the lowest E string, but the last example doesn't do that because we're trying to stay more simple, instructional purposes. Hashtag learning. So one other rhythm that I would like to talk about is one that is not applicable to open strings. This is just more funk-based. It's just so active, and if you were to try to do that with a pick, it would sound more Reiki, and it would sound more Hendrixy, which is totally beautiful. Right, but it's a different thing. There's more of a staccato-ness there, and that's the overall vibe and ethos of this sound. So what we're doing here is that we're picking with these two fingers up. Notice how the pick's not going up, the fingers are. Then we have some more ghost notes. So that is the general approach in a quick YouTube fashion on how I use my right hand, both rhythmically and for leads. I'm Daniel Denano of Reverb.com, and today we're gonna cover the entire Beyonce Lemonade album, track by track.